So just a reminder that Matt Essick took out the first game in this match. We're not sure what Felix has got by way of
with
any
a clip on
pioneers.
2, there has been some interaction, so it's good for him to have the balls back to
runs that
through.
hard down to the boundary. A little bit of fluttering in the flags now. We might.
They picked up a bit of pace.
The Welsh flag is almost at half mast, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether.
And even they've poked into the ground a little bit further than all the others.
It is. It's sort of been nailed. It does look quite short in comparison to the other ones. So, okay, so we've got a view now of the lawn layout a bit more. So Felix has made hoop 2. There's a yellow ball halfway up the lawn. I would imagine the black is in corner 4 because we haven't seen it anywhere else. So, and it looks like he's going to roll over to it.
I think his eyes are for yellow. I think he's loading 4 going to yellow.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So if the black is indeed in corner 4, it's being ignored. Yep, looks like a reasonable rush up to 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit of cut.
Wouldn't worry there. Might be a bit. The black must be up here. Yeah. Let's see.
This court, lawn 7, I played on it earlier in the week. And there's a trick. You can see the darkness of the grass here. It's some tricky ground to go through.
This lawn used to be notorious, didn't it? I mean, it used to be like.
And that may have been no fault of Felix. That could have been the lawn. It's got
look at that
movement. It's got a different paces through it. You can actually see a bit of a mow line.
Yes, look at the mow line. Look at the mow line there. Yes,
you've got to be on the money on these shots in this patch of grass.
So he's got a very tricky shot now. What would you do here, Pete? The red and the yellow are too close to. You'd have to imagine Matt would make that roquet. You can't sort of go off and hide.
Yeah. Well, Tuesday club day, you may be taking off to the hoop. I'm not sure. He's only leaving a 10-odd yarder if he doesn't make this hoop. So he's either.
Well, the trouble is, if he doesn't make the hoop, he's got no other option. So he's got to do this shot, hasn't he? So he's got to do the
Tuesday club day shot.
And as we were saying, this lawn has some character.
Oh yes,
it has.
He is, as we know, Felix is a top golf croquet player. So he's just going to make sure he gives himself gives himself a shot, even if it's a long shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't be short.
That's a great shot. Yeah,
and that's probably
that's
close to the perfect position you're aiming at. And if it pulls up a yard short, then you're happy. But that's a great shot.
Yeah, that is good. That gives him every chance.
Yeah.
And
swapping between GC and AC is tough, but
But he's in GC mode now.
He's got the skills to run this cleanly. And not no angle is the perfect thing. It's a nice straight line. And he got right hand leg.
We did. That really spat out as well.
Yeah. So he's
okay. Now, Matt's still. Oh, well, actually, see, the thing is, Matt's got a much shorter roquet now.
He was, he didn't have many options.
Yeah.
But it's possibly 2 breaks Felix hasn't taken advantage of in the start of
that's
game,
an absolute tap on there for Matt.
Yeah.
Now, are all the other clips on 1 here, Pete? I think they are, aren't they? It looks like a little porcupine over there in the corner.
So on the other hoop, so I'm guessing it's all on 1.
And Felix very much back in the naughty corner there.
Yeah, and it's
so
as much as experience and winning world championships Felix had, it's all new experience. Quarterfinals of the AC Worlds. It's get yourself settled and get into groove of it. The errors can start to prey on you. That thing you've got to get rid of next time you walk onto the lawn.
So interesting there that Matt didn't choose to sort of get a rush on to the black to go to 1. He's going straight to 1.
Yeah.
Because I suppose that, yeah.
Yeah, I know we're not thinking about making...
good shot, though.
Hoop one off your own
cut.
partner, but shortening the distance of these rushes to the hoops with some curl is probably important, so you don't really want to be rushing it from up near hoop 3.
No, because we've already seen that.
And the ball will swirl away on that as the rush tails slows down. So
yeah. And look, he's in a
he's
in a nice position here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and that good position. Yeah, you don't have to control the hoop.
That's right. Just tonk it through.
Place to hoop and roki.
And of course now, and Felix's bombed hoop is a lovely pioneer at 3 now.
I don't know if you watch any American 9-ball pool tournaments or anything.
I'm not a student of it. No.
They hold the Mosconi Cup where it's Europe versus the USA, and there's a player. Vanderberg, I think it's Justin Vanderberg, which Matthew Essig reminds me a lot of. Same style.
Oh yeah.
It's got that little bit of swagger and it's in the groove and doesn't look too similar. They're both.
It's a nicer atmosphere playing croquet, though, isn't it? I mean, I've been to a couple of pool halls in my time, and you know you're not generally in fear of your life when you're playing croquet.
No, well, it's got some similarities that, you know, a lot of the shots in the pool are quite simple.
Yes,
you just got to concentrate up the tough shots and
that's
not make any errors, and croquet is similar on that, you know.
Yes,
80% of the
yes,
shots
the ball movements and percussion and everything is very similar. We're joined in the commentary booth by Ken Bowl. How are you today, Ken? Good.
Would Ken like to take over and do some words of intelligence? Croquet? Yeah, there we are. We'll pass over and I can have a
Peter's going to have a bit of a break. He might, if he's feeling really kind, he might bring me a cup of tea. Maybe we could get Ken's name on the credit list. So, Ken, how are you today?
Oh, I'm great, thank you.
Good.
Yes.
We had a nice day in Ballarat yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. Drove a long way for a couple of games. In my case, it was driving a long way for taking croquet twice. So.
Oh well, that's what happens, isn't it?
That is.
But it was a great day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we're watching here is Matt making his first break with the red ball. Felix having clanged hoop 3. So Matt looking very solid as he comes through there, and I think the lawn is pretty much laid for him at the moment. We might pop up to lawn 5 if we can, if we can get Blake up there. Well, Blake is up there, so if we can switch over there, because Ed Wilson has just finished his. Ed Wilson has just finished his first break, and that means that Harry will be on to take the lift shot. So that will be a great relief for Ed to have got 9 on the board.
Yes, so it calms your nerves down after you've done a 9. And you feel as though I will get the next one.
Yeah. And because Ed's had a couple of outings and not been able to see them through. So if we could pop over to 5 with Blake, that would be fantastic. So here's Harry looking at that. Look at that. You could draw. The correlation coefficient on that line would be pretty slim, wouldn't it? I mean, that's
absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think that you could place those balls in a tighter line, and Ed will be feeling good about that as well. So Harry just wondering now which ball to take. Which one would you take, Ken? Do you have a system?
Well, I always take the blue ball because I think if you can rush a ball over to the boundary line, you've got a better chance of making a break. So you don't want that to happen. So that's what I do. And yourself?
I don't know. I just take it. I sort of don't really have a system for that. Particularly at this stage of the game, where you know I mean, obviously, there's no the polarity or parity or whatever you call it is the same. I mean, both balls are for one.
Yes. Doesn't look very.
I don't often see this though. Don't often see people shooting up at at that ball, but that's what Harry's doing, and he's ended up in corner 2. So I think that Ed will have a good chance of a TP here.
Oh, absolutely, yes. It makes it a lot easier putting the ball in corner 2, I think, for... Yes.
Yep, and it's not often encountered. No. I mean, normally people are shooting down from corner 3 into corner 4, or they're taking the short shot, and I would imagine that Ed hasn't seen this start as often as the other two options.
No. Well, it's a different...
You can see the mowing lines quite strongly there. There's definitely some difference. Ed has fired off towards the western boundary, and he's wasting no time at all in getting going.
Yes, he's rather a quick mover, isn't he?
He is. Yes. And
as I said before, it makes an easy shot to go to hoop 1.
Yes.
By leaving the blue ball there. Yes.
Yep. And remember, he's got the other of Harry's balls in corner 2.
Yes.
So... Now, he's not quite sure what he's done here. He's actually given himself a rush up north, and he has put Harry up on the north boundary on the hoop 3, hoop 4 line, and he'll be taking croquet from obviously just north of hoop 3 on the northern boundary, and he'll be taking off across to the black. And
why do you think he is doing that?
I don't know. Oh no, because look, sorry, he was for hoop. There we go. Now we know. Yes, there was no dark magic there. That's he was actually. So we obviously haven't been covering this game. We didn't realise that. Yes. He was on hoop 3 with that ball. So, my understanding of the game is not blown asunder there. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I like the way he swaggers up and looks confident. You want that?
Yes. Yeah. He normally looks confident.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful,
lovely
smooth swing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Very envious of the swing. Yes. Love to be able to hit the ball like that.
And got it nicely at 5. He'd be able to take off to red and.
Yes. So remember, the black ball is still in corner 2. But his priority at the moment, as Ken has observed, is to get a nice rush on red to hoop 4. And of course that blue will stay there as the pioneer for 5. So yes, we now know why Harry took the lift shot that he did. Yeah, it's a tough job being in the commentary box because we don't actually have any visibility of the lawns, and we're quite dependent on making a snap decision on what's happening. But Ed nestles in front of 4
Yes, nicely in front of the hoop. Yes.
And I was about to say smooths it through, but doesn't.
Just it's gone through. That's the main thing.
It gets enough wire to impede its progress a little bit. But he's got a nice 3-ball break laid out. But the black ball is still in corner 2. He'll presumably be digging that out. I guess, Ken, the question then would be, can you see Ed going for the straight triple?
No, I don't think so, because I think there are enough hoops for him to get the 4-back hoop before a straight triple can happen.
Right. How do you bring that black? How do you contrive it so that the black is brought out of the corner and is able to?
Well, I think it's just an easy.
So when he comes out of here, is he gonna rush over to the black?
I think blue will go over to 1 back. He'll take off to the black ball, and then he'll promote the black ball. Either in
he'll
the
roll them over.
Yes. I think that will be the safest way. But he hasn't put the blue ball on the side going to 1 back, has he? I think he's just going to stop shot it over. Oh, he's...
okay.
See?
Yeah. So he's put that ball over there, and he'll be. And
do you think he'll go to black and?
He'll be taking off to black now. Do you think?
Pass roll. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. No, you're right. It's a little pass roll over to the black. I say little, but 21 yards away.
Doddle in the park. Yes. No. He's just going to the red one. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Well, he's doing what we're saying, but.
So Pete has brought me a cup of tea. Thank you very much, Pete. You can see there the black ball in corner 2. Ed standing up proud. Ooh, not absolutely plumb in front of the hoop, but he won't be too worried about that. So, red. Oh, he's shaping up just to load that red into to 2-back now, isn't he?
Yes, I think so.
So if he's successful with this this shot here, loading 2-back and going to the black, then that's basically, we can expect him to complete the break. The only little variable might be that the 2-back Pioneer gets loaded up to 4-back and used in a straight triple.
Yes, yes.
And that would be something worth continuing with. It would be nice to if it looks as if that isn't happening, then we'll have a quick look at what's happening in the other games that we have visibility on.
Doesn't give the impression that he's going to attempt a triple at any stage, does he?
No, I think he's had a pretty torrid time in the match so far.
Just happy to make a break.
And I think making the break, getting the pace of the lawn, getting his rhythm going, all of that will be very important to him at this stage. Yes. The worst thing that could happen to him is a rush of blood to the head, which causes a breakdown. Looks like a fine jungle in the background there, Ken, doesn't it? I mean, it's a slightly less glamorous view of Canley there, but Certainly that looks nice.
It does look
that
nice,
looks like,
yes. All those yuccas, they're growing, yes.
So did you play here from when it was first created?
Yes,
yep.
yes.
You were here for the opening ceremony, no doubt.
Certainly was, yes.
Excellent.
Yes, we're very lucky to have this magnificent sporting facility.
It is incredible.
One of the best in the world, yes.
It is incredible. 12 lovely lawns, amazing facilities in the clubhouse.
Yeah. But one of the other major thing is that the plants that have been put in, the amount of bird life that's about. You walk around and you can see in the springtime all these birds and little chicks.
Yep,
that's
and
great.
the magpies in the morning with their fantastic chorus, and sadly replaced by the crows squawking round about 10 o'clock. But you don't mind a bit of...
I love a crow.
You
I
like
think
a crow?
that's very Australian, yes.
So, interesting for our viewers as well, though, to see on some of these shots the incredible undulations in the sidewalk there. In fact, you can see that quite clearly on this shot. Basically the pavement around the end wobbles up and down. Look, you can really see it there very clearly. And the Cairnley site was actually built on an old rubbish tip, I believe.
That's right, yes.
And there's been a lot of subsidence over the years. They do keep the lawns reasonably flat, but they do have character. But the surroundings have a tremendous amount of character.
Yes.
And there's a lot of areas that have been sort of had to have those concrete things. And in just around the lawns, Robert Fletcher started his day off with a triple peel against Jenny Clark. We saw the game between Matt and Felix go 26-4. And as you know, Harry beat Edward 26-4 in the first game. Reg we saw with his triple against James. And so that's where we are. Ed continuing with his second break. I didn't see where he put the red, Ken. I was...
the red is up near 4 back.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is... So the red is obviously the pioneer for 4 back, but it is a potential peelee, and I think this will be an interesting moment to see what Ed decides to do with that red. Is he just going to treat it as a pioneer, or is he going to treat it as a peelee?
Well, I hope it's a peelee from a perspective point of view, because the spectators come, they watch, they thoroughly enjoy, they know exactly what's going on, and a straight triple peel with a bombard, it's what we want. It's
what people have paid to see, Ken.
Absolutely, yes.
You know.
Yes.
So there goes the penultimate pioneer, and we have the rush, perfect rush. What is Ed going to do with this? He puts it just up to 4 back, and he will tell us what his intentions are by where this black is going to go. No, he's not going to try the straight triple. That black is going into pivot position and not into reception ball position. So Ed not behaving like Ed.
No.
Pete is back in the commentary box and he gives a knowing nod. And what do I know about anything? Because there was a peel.
Nice peel.
But it's I don't think that's part of a Pete's. I still don't think this is going to turn into an STP. No. But he takes the opportunity to make the peel, and that's cheeky. A nice little roll down to the pioneer, and
shoots black back to the border and then puts it at Rover hoop.
At Rover, yeah. Yeah, so there's some of the audience there who would have been disappointed with not to see. They've been waiting to see the STP
and good money, as you said.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Again, the perspective makes that look worse than it is, because I can actually see from the 100 metres away or so that we are that black is a very, very nice pioneer for Rover. So, it's a little bit of wire there, but
that's all right.
That's okay. And his partner, red ball, just sitting there nicely for the leave. Is there a particular leave that you like to do if you're finishing on penultimate and peg, Ken?
Well, I haven't seen anybody in this tournament, if the ball is for penultimate, put the opposition ball at penultimate and Rover. That used to be a thing that happened many years ago, but I haven't seen it in this tournament.
So a couple of our listeners have taken my comment about the paying to see the croquet. Seriously, honestly, it is totally free.
Yes.
Everybody is very welcoming here, and lots of nice drink and food can be had. That's not free, but but certainly the action is free. And I'm very, very, very pleased to know that I've been labelled as an Australian with my sarcasm. So that's I might finally be accepted after 33 years here. So this looks like a very, very tight cross wiring. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? I mean, those two balls are going to be so close to each other and yet so far.
Perfect shot.
Yep. He's looking. Does he like that?
But does that give the opposition a good chance of hitting the partner ball when he has the lift, because he'll have the hoop and a ball? Do you think that will help the opposition?
You mean the peg and the ball?
Yeah, the peg. Peg and the ball.
So you mean he might ricochet off the peg onto the ball?
Do you think it was a wise thing to do? I know it looks magnificent on either side.
Oh, look at the undulations in the lawn there. Look at look at the way that goes up and down. It's like a sine wave, isn't it?
Yes.
And you can also see the sort of the mowing bits that have been left too. So it now just needs to put himself as. Ooh, look at the curve on that. Look at that.
Yes,
it's incredible, isn't it? There must just be a patch there. But you can see it. It's amazing how you can see it from this long distance view, the curvature of the lines.
Now, do you also think is that a good?
Well, what you can't see on the coverage, which we can see from here, is that those two, the red and the yellow ball, have actually been set about 7 yards apart.
Yes.
So Harry has no shot on them from the two centre balls, but he will obviously pick one of them up and and either shoot at it himself or at one of Ed's 2 balls. But Ed's balls are 7 yards apart.
But the problem with that is, has he given the opposition a double?
From B-ball.
Yes, and also
yep.
then you've got the peg and the ball.
Yep.
Has he given him a free shot in the sense that he's instead of just having one ball, he's got a peg and a ball, and then he's got a red and a yellow to make a double? So, is it a good thing that he has done?
But look, I think he thinks I think he can see enough of it. He can see enough. The ref is coming out, and I think Ed has given him a slice.
Yes,
a sliver.
No, he missed.
Well,
be interesting to know what
that gives
little bit he had.
That gives Ed a pretty good chance.
Finishing off
there's
the
the
game.
there's the 7-yarder. Nice relaxed pendulum. And over and out. And Ed now has 2 balls in the middle of the lawn to work his way up to penultimate. So I'm going to take a little break and hand over to Pete Landry, and he will join Ken in seeing us through to the end of Ed's game, and I might do a little bit of extra work by running to see what's happening on the other games, and come back and report.
Oh, that's gone a bit far.
It has, yeah, it has. It looks worse from here because of where the cameraman is standing. It's actually a bit. It's a bit flatter. Now, I do have to report that there's a lot of grey cloud coming up from the west. It looks pretty threatening. I'm going to have a look at my radar to have a look to see what the weather is doing. But it's certainly. Oh no, there's nothing on there. It's as clear as a bell. It just looks quite threatening, though, doesn't it?
Yes, it's going to go around the side of the bay.
Yeah. Where does the weather normally come from? Is it normally come from the west?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just to take off to the yellow ball and then to the last hoop. So that's good. Oh no, he's going to roll them down.
No, and all in good position to finish off this game, to tie the match up at 1-1, which will be. And Edward looks in good touch, so it should be a good match from this point onwards. Both players playing well.
Yes, and it's great that there'll be a game each, won't it? It'll be more exciting.
Yeah,
yes, that's what you want.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And up on court 11 between Robert Fletcher and
Robert's in play. I can't actually see what's happening, but he's striding around the court looking quite confident.
Sorry, a bit of mic difficulty there, but up on court 11, Robert Fletcher versus Jenny Clark. Robert got the first game 26-0 TP, but looks like Jenny's got the first break of game 2. I'm thinking it's first break, but anyway, she set a pretty good looking NSL, which Roberts lifted the 2 ball and headed up to Beeborg.
Ed's done a nice peg out of both balls,
Well,
so
yep.
that's good.
Well done, Edward.
Yes.
Edward had his grandmother here watching yesterday, which was good. And Edward comes from Adelaide, South Australia, and I haven't seen her today, but I take it she's there somewhere in the shelter watching.
One good thing about these finals, we've got a good mixture of all the different countries.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And someone came up with the thing that Australia is the only country that is able to have both 2 players in the final, because Edward and Robert are on opposite side of the draws.
Yes, so that's great. Yeah. And one good thing about these youngster players, they'll be blooded for the McRob in the future, won't they?
Oh, yes, that's a good aside to bring up, Ken. There's we have the McRobinson Shield, the World Team Association Croquet event here at the same venue at Kenley in November 2021, which seems a long way off, but it's very much in a lot of these players' minds. They're wanting to play well in the conditions, obviously, and they're all wanting to get selected, so they're all, got in. Well, it shouldn't be an added little bit of pressure, but I'm sure it's in a lot of the back of their minds that, there's other reward besides just winning this, and performing well is also of high importance throughout the week.
And to get into the McRob is such a prestigious thing, so it's good.
For an association croquet player, it is the highest honour. So
and it's good the youngsters come on, because it pushes the old ones and it pushes all those people, and it's what's wanted.
Yep. It's been fantastic, actually. The amount of more youthful players at the high standard the last few years has been just the best thing in croquet.
And I've been hearing around the courts, everybody's so impressed with the running of the courts, how they've been playing.
Yes.
That's good. The only downside is that it's rained, that it's slowed them down a bit. But we can't
change any of that. So this court Edward and Harry's playing on, looks a bit rough on the camera, but they play better than they look. That's all I could say.
Very good.
And
the hoops are nice and tight.
The hoops are firm in the ground.
Yes, and that's what you want. Yeah, it's great.
I think it's just the skill of the players are making them look easy, Ken, not so much the hoop. Yeah.
Of course it is, yes.
But mention to the satellite venues, I haven't been to Ballarat, but I heard good reports from Ballarat, which is good.
Yes. And they had the Fletcher hoops.
Oh, they had the Fletcher hoops.
The Fletcher hoops, and if you did not get that ball straight in front to peel, it would not go through.
That's right.
So that was really good.
Yeah, I didn't realise that, but I played at Essendon, and there's hard pressed to find 2 better courts at a 2-court venue in Australia. They are absolutely fantastic, and
the surrounds and everything.
Beautiful club. And,
yes. You'd want to belong to a croquet club if you belong to Essendon.
Oh yes, very much. And Terry Hopkins is very, very proud of the work he does here.
He rolls them once or twice a week.
Yep. Yes. And same as the Belmont Club in Geelong, where the other satellite venue was held, is just fantastic in lawn quality. So we've got 12, 15, 19 lawns of pretty good quality to hold a championship.
And Williamstown, their courts are lovely.
Williamstown, yep.
Yeah, and that Edwardian clubhouse is magnificent. Yes.
So it looks like a super shot here from Edward, and optimum distance from Harry. Edward's shot and missed at the eastern boundary ball, and Harry looked like he had a bit of a double or a bit of a target anyway for 4th ball on the lawn, but he's missed it, and he's such a good shot, Harry, that he'll be. Yes, it was a very juicy double, and that miss is,
could be quite costly.
Could be costly. With Harry, I would, normally predict to have hit that target. Well, he hits a lot of single balls, so.
Yes. Has Harry been around for a while, or where does he...
I'm not exactly sure. I first met and played Harry in 2016 on the Florida Worlds, and he was already a quite accomplished player then. So I take it, he was around half a dozen years before that to get to that level. But he's one of these, well, not rare at the moment. One of these players that plays GC equally as well as Association Croquet, and his rankings are quite similar in both codes. And he's been a feature of the Worlds, in closing stages quite a bit. So
that's good.
He's looking to take the next step in both codes, I think.
It's to get that mental toughness, isn't it, to be able to, yes.
Yeah. A bit of a break here before Edward either puts more clothes on, or he is putting more clothes on. But we can't quite see what's happening on the other lawns. But Robert's missed that lift by the look of that, because Jenny's back in play and she's rushed towards hoop 1. But I can't see the ball in fourth corner, so we might have missed a little bit of action up there. The yellow ball actually looks up towards Penalt, so something's happened after the lift shot.
There's a yellow ball near the peg, but
we
don't really know what has happened. She's over near hoop 1 on the border. With the red and the black ball, and she's going to use the black ball.
It's a good shot of the trees there in the background to show the wind coming up, and it's so not so much the rain and the coolness in Kenley, it's the wind is the hardest thing to contend with the slightly curly lawns. Oh, yes. Edwards parked that in the middle of the hoop.
Stuck in hoop 1. That's a pity.
Looking at something in the distance, like a distraction somewhere. And it could be anything. Could be hearing some voices or people walking, and he never quite settled himself. But he was looking at something.
Yes.
I'm not sure of the length of Harry's shot, but that looks about good 15 yards, but great reward for the hit here. Get himself ready for the shot. Sometimes it's these unexpected roquets where you think your opposition is probably just going to sail around, and you have a break and get yourself ready for a lift shot, and now you're faced with a shot that you might not have been expecting, and you've got to get yourself up for it. And good profile there of Harry's swing and smooth motion. Mallet's perfectly straight, and centre ball's in. It's a good shot. And Gareth's back in the room. Anything to report around the lawns, Gareth?
Jenny Clark's going to hoop 2, but it looks about 4 to 5 feet out in front, doesn't it?
Yes.
Or is it just me looking not...
No, it's, I think you're right, Ken. There's a bit of distance there. And I don't think she's got that. That's kicked out to the right, isn't it, of the leg?
Oh no.
Oh no, she's through.
She's through. Yes.
The Matt Felix game because Matt's called the referee, so there's something happening.
Okay, so that's on lawn 7, isn't it? So we get a request for lawn 7. I think Harry's probably in control. Yeah, just waiting for the referee to come out to watch this Croquet in the hoop. Ian Bassett, one of our referees on duty. Okay, yep. Yeah, Richard's made a comment here. According to Andrew, Jenny is on the second break, so we missed a fair part of that start of that second game. So.
Yeah, I think it looks like an interesting situation. So that's fine.
Yes.
Hello Pete.
Hey,
Gareth
Gareth?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just swapped over to lawn 7 because it looked as if there was a bit of interaction happening. On lawn 5, of course, Harry looks as if
Harry's in control.
He's in control.
Yep.
But the events on lawn 7 look intriguing. You can see a red clip on 4 back and a blue clip on 3.
And a black clip on 2, is it?
Yeah. And Matt bouncing around the lawn. Going off. Looking to see. So he looks as if he's going to do a little leave here.
I missed a comment here from Damon about talking about shooting for maximum distance and the difference between shooting from A and B balk. Certainly the curls on some of these lawns dictates possibly what shot you're taking, either from A or B balk. There's some flatter parts of the lawn that the ball will travel on pretty true, and that sometimes is more important than the distance.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure the reference of what shot he was referring to.
So Felix will be walking on, faced with quite a long shot. So it looks like the yellow and the black are both on 2.
Yes, we've
and Felix is shooting at the yellow and red. I'm not sure whether there's any sort of double there, but shoots it down and hits.
Yeah.
Hits nicely. Hits nicely, but the red ball was for 4 back.
Okay.
So the wind is really starting to get up now. We've got some quite threatening grey cloud coming. There's no rain on the radar, but there's enough rain to be causing a little bit of problem for the camera crew. Bit of water on the lens and all a little bit more uncomfortable out there. People starting to pull on their coats. Felix is way he points his toes in is really look, you can see the cloud there now. Look at that.
And the flags.
Yeah. So we're definitely starting to see the conditions get a little bit more interesting.
And while we have a few scattered clips at the start of this game, that could quite easily be, the lawn and the conditions causing that more than the.
Yeah, we're not sure how it came to be that there's 2 clips on 2 and so on, but
both players are extremely good shots, and you're aware that you have to make something with each turn, and even if it possibly might have been a different line of play of setting a better lawn before you launch, you can't give your opponent the shot when the level these two shoot at.
Yeah. So this is going to get rushed over to hoop 2. Yep. And beautiful swing, knocks it over there.
Smooth, bit of pace on it. So
what do they? Oh, that's gone a lot further than you would have liked. A lot further.
7-yard approach in here.
Yep. These sort of crop circles that they have in the lawn, are they caused by a certain type of fungus, aren't they?
No, that's your territory.
No. I'm just wondering why they grow out in a circle like that. I'm sure it's not a joke by the ground staff. But it's sort of like a landing pad, isn't it?
It is. Certainly is. There's a smaller one here.
Yeah. Maybe it's part of a game. I don't know.
Yep.
I wouldn't like this hoop myself, but I don't think Felix will.
Nice deep reception ball, and bounces back.
There we go.
You can see a bit of sideways rain coming there for Adam as well.
He wasn't happy with that one, but Matt's red and yellow balls are highly separated, and wherever he shoots, he would be giving Felix something.
Yeah, Felix may be moving. There's no cover on that shelter he's
Felix
got there. He's
definitely gone into the.
He's moving, but he's not behind the shelter.
He's not only gone into the naughty corner, he's gone a bit, behind the naughty corner. So.
Down here for Matthew. But just to the west of this lawn, there's a very good, large covered area next to the clubhouse that the players can take cover.
It's a very pleasant one, but that's not where he was going.
No, but he may end up there.
He may end up there, yeah. So.
Oh, thank you, Heinz. There we are, Gareth. It is called elf circle, a grass disease.
Oh, right. Excellent. Okay. It's very Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So, there's that wide stance again.
Yeah.
And then
it's rock solid.
Rock solid at the time of impact. Crouches down, swings, and misses to the left. And that agony as you see the ball go past. Oh, it's. But now So Felix has a shot that looks further from this perspective than it actually is, I think. It's, no problem with that. Well, there's a lot of other action on the courts today, Pete. Lots of bowl games and plate playoffs and and so on.
Playoffs are interesting. The double banking on the 4 middle courts at Kenley, which are probably the flattest and the nicest courts to play on. Difficult when there's 2 players on the lawn and 2 sitting as the out players. I'm not exactly sure of the matchups.
Yeah.
But we have Aiken Hakes from New Zealand playing Simon Jenkins from the USA on lawn 1.
Yeah.
And also on lawn 1 is Alison Sharp versus John Christie of New Zealand.
So Felix looking a little bit happier now. Now he's got the balls again, and they're likely to be even more favourable if he gets a nice approach to this. He doesn't look all that happy with it, but I don't. That's not.
Yeah. There's a bit of difficulty in it.
15 degrees, 4 feet,
maybe a little bit more. He's got good power that he can put that leg on.
There he goes. Good shot. Nice shot. Beautiful end result with a nice rush down the park. So that steadies the ship for him.
Yep.
And down there are some other balls that he can leverage.
Well, hoop 4 lands a little bit difficult on this court as well. You've got past the hoop 2 free stuff. He should be alright if he can get through this hoop and control the break from that point. The other hoops aren't too bad.
So I think the red ball was still up in the up around corner 2, wasn't it, Pete? From that early roquet of Felix's. You can see the mowing strip there, can't you? Quite clearly. And also that slightly drier area around hoop 4. And that's beautifully played. Absolutely plumb in front. Swats it through.